Travelers make U-turns and access side streets while median crossover on Grantham Road is closed. Now, intersections along US 70 and James City are being converted into interchanges without traffic signals, which aim to improve traffic flow and reduce commute times. Grantham Road interchange will allow for fluid cross-street traffic under the highway with roundabouts on both sides to manage the flow of traffic. Now, the construction of the bridge is the final stage of work before the interchange is complete. Travelers can visit the project's website for updates and traffic alerts. You can find a link on our website, WITN.com. Of course, we also need to turn our attention over to Tom Costello and the ongoing trouble with air travel and really the safety of air travel within the country. NBC's Tom Costello has more.
It happened on Monday at Denver Center, which handles high-altitude air traffic.
9612, Denver Center, hello?
The FAA says controllers lost some radio frequencies as they coordinated air traffic. The outage lasting roughly 90 seconds.
For any traffic area on 120575, we're supposed to switch over to Denver 118475.
While they still had radar contact, and the FAA says controllers used another frequency to relay instructions to pilots, aircraft remained safely separated and there were no impacts to operations. Denver is the country's third largest airport and a critical hub for United, Southwest, and Frontier. The loss of radios at Denver comes after a string of radio and radar outages at Newark Airport, also a United hub, highlighting the national shortage of air traffic controllers and decades-old technology shown on this table, but still in use by controllers nationwide.
Our radar is from the 70s. We have a couple new ones from early 80s.
A veteran controller who oversees planes flying into Newark airspace tells the Wall Street Journal the stress levels are very high, recounting how he averted a mid-air collision on May 4th.
I was getting tired. I was having to utilize a combination of radar and non-radar rules that I basically just made up on the fly to separate aircraft in such a way that I could be prepared for losing radar.
The FAA is now rushing to install fiber optic telecom lines to back up the radios and radars at Newark. Now, an urgent push for Congress to spend tens of billions of dollars to upgrade the nation's aging ATC systems, and soon.
There is widespread agreement that we have a problem.
While in Washington this week, a rare meeting between the airlines and the FAA, hoping to voluntarily reduce the number of flights into and out of Newark as it struggles with hours-long delays.
And again, that was Tom Costello reporting. We now want to turn our attention back to your weather forecast. Today is another First Alert weather day, but instead of the thunderstorm, we will still have a small thunderstorm threat coming up later on today, but mostly looking at heat today as being the big issue. We've been watching a heat wave across the Midwest over the past several days. The heat up areas from Dallas, Texas, all the way up into Chicago, Illinois. Air temperatures have been in the triple digits for some, 90s for others. Well, all of that heat has finally made its way into eastern North Carolina, and we are going to feel it today and tomorrow. Get ready again for the low 90s. But we will again have some spotty showers and storms rolling in later on this afternoon. The big reason why today, sea breeze front. Whenever you heat up, in fact, we'll go back to this. I'm just going to explain this. Whenever land heats up, it does so at a faster rate than the ocean. So as air temperatures over land reach into the low 90s, the air temperatures over water stay in the 70s and 80s. That temperature difference creates a breeze, and that eventually creates the sea breeze circulation, which will start to pump rain showers back into eastern North Carolina coming up this afternoon. So that's kind of a basic rundown. I know I just kind of did it in 30 seconds with my hands, not the best of illustrations there, but again, we can go over that more and more detail at a later date. But for now, again, this is what we've got, just a lot of atmospheric noise, none of that rain actually coming down right now. Again, when we put it into motion, you can see again just really, really light stuff there. Here's what we've got as far as your air temperatures go: a low to mid 70s for those of you watching closer to the Virginia line. But once you get down south of Highway 264, you're looking at mid to upper 70s, anywhere between 75 up to 79 degrees. Beaufort, closing in on 80 degrees. Now, a stronger southwesterly wind today will help boost air temperatures and bring in that heat. Humidity also remains high, upper 60s to low 70s for your dew points. Indicate again plenty of moisture in the atmosphere for more storms to develop coming up later on today. And over the past 24 hours, most areas have either seen their humidity stay the same or rise just a little bit. Some of that rise has been more pronounced as you get closer to Virginia. But here's what we've got coming up this afternoon. I think if we've got a shot at rain, it will likely start between 2, 3, and 4 p.m. That's the general time period where we hit our high temperatures through the day, and that starts the peak of that temperature difference between the ocean and inland air temperatures, which really start to get that sea breeze circulation going. So again, that's when we'll start to see that formation of thunderstorms. Any storms we see pop up will likely linger into 7, 8, and 9 p.m. But once that sun goes down, the more storms there are, the faster they die out, because those storms are heat driven. And all thunderstorms do is they put down rain, which cools down the ground and robs any future thunderstorms of heat that they can use to get back going again. So it's kind of a self-defeating cycle there, that they get big, and the bigger they get, well, the more difficult it is for them to stay alive. So that's what we've got coming up for today. Here's a look at how it all comes together on your forecast. Again, there's some rain showers rolling through very quickly, not going to affect everyone. And then we get into Saturday, where we'll have a better shot at overnight showers coming up Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, Saturday also a first alert weather day, mostly for the heat that we will see. But also I do believe we'll have a slightly higher chance of thunderstorms coming in Saturday evening into Saturday night, just based on a cold front coming in. You note that there is that cold front. Notice your air temperature drop. 91 degrees on Saturday, drops to 83 on Sunday. And then it does look like we'll have a second cold front roll through as we head into Wednesday of next week, dropping air temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, back down into the low 80s on Thursday. And check that out. Next Friday, talk about a change in fortunes there. 92 today. A week from now, we're going to be at 74. So today and tomorrow, very much a summertime day. By the time we get to next Friday, it's going to be feeling like we've reverted all the way back almost into April. So again, enjoy the wild weather of North Carolina. It rolls on again for the next 8 days. But that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update. I want to thank you all so much for joining me on the First Alert Desk. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a wonderful Friday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.